Roy J. Akers with you with Eagles Over Golf, the podcast. We are at the Rocket Mortgage Classic and we're at the final round. We're going to be at a presser for this podcast as we're going to be speaking with the winning golfer coming up. And will it be someone like Taylor Pendrith, Tony Finau, Patrick Cantley, or somebody else? We're going to have it for you next on Double Eagles Over Golf.
All right, we'd like to welcome the 2022 Rocket Mortgage Classic champion Tony Finau into the interview room. Tony wins back-to-back weeks on the PGA Tour, winning last week's 3M Open and now here at Detroit Golf Club, and moves to number 7 in the FedEx Cup standings with 1 week to play in the FedEx Cup regular season. Tony, if we could just get an opening comment from you on the victory and winning back-to-back.
Yeah, thanks. What a wonderful couple of weeks it's been. To capitalize the way I did last week and today, on a Sunday where it was pretty tight there coming down the stretch, and I was able to pull away with some birdies. I think I said it earlier to Amanda on CBS. I won the golf tournament last week. For some reason I left, and after bogeying the 18th hole, I had kind of a sour taste in my mouth, and I think it just gave me extra motivation to put myself there again this week and just prove to myself the type of champion that I am, and make some birdies down the stretch when you really need them. So that's all I tried to do. When I got to 14T, my goal was to birdie 14 and 17. And if I could do that, I knew I was going to win the golf tournament, and I was able to do that. And I was just proud of the way I finished. I thought that this week I was able to prove to myself the champion that I feel like I am.
At this time, 2 weeks ago, you're number 30 in the FedEx Cup standings, and you're a 2-time winner on tour. Now, as I mentioned, number 7, a 4-time winner on tour. Have the goals changed as we move towards the FedEx Cup playoffs, or what are your goals as we finish up here in this season?
Yeah, it's funny you talk about goals. I write down goals before every season. I was able to peek at them overnight. One of my goals would be a multiple winner on tour this season. To be able to accomplish that is amazing. Another goal was to win the FedEx Cup, and I put myself in position to do that. Scotty's going to be extremely hard to catch. Sam Burns, those guys have had unbelievable seasons. I think Cameron Smith is up there. Those guys will be hard to catch, but the way the points work in the FedEx Cup, you're able to race up climb that ladder pretty fast, and I at least have given myself a chance to do that. So I think I've been quoted saying it many times before, a week can change your life. So I guess when you look at mine, 2 weeks has now, back-to-back weeks has now changed my life, and it's a great feeling.
All right, we'll take some questions out here. If you have a question, we'll get a microphone to you. We will start with Cameron on the aisle on the left.
Tony, congratulations.
Thanks, Cameron.
A year ago, there was a totally different narrative about the close calls and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. Now you've won 3 times in 12 months. You've got to feel quite gratified and satisfied with having continued to sort of pound on the door as you did, and you kept saying it's going to happen. Now it's continuing to happen. You got to feel pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I think that's well put, Cameron. You guys have been all there. You guys have been there for a lot of the tough losses. I put myself in situations to win before, haven't been able to do it, but I'm very optimistic. I've always been that way. I've always had hope and faith that things will turn out if I just keep working hard and putting myself there. And that's the thing. I challenge myself every week to just push past what I feel like I'm capable of. And by that, I mean just my emotions. Get these hurdles that you face during a tournament. Try and put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And I proved to myself these last couple of weeks that I've done that and won some golf tournaments. But I'm proud of the way that I've fought through adversity through my career. And now I'm a back-to-back champion. That's what happens. They say a winner is just a loser that's just kept on trying. And that's me, to a T. How many times do I lose? But one thing I won't do is give up. And I'm only here as a winner because I chose not to give up and just keep going. Yeah, there's no question. That was an easy two-shot swinger, looking like he had a great look for birdie. I was able to get a nice read off of that, and some of those putts haven't gone my way in the past. I feel like, where they're lipping out instead of lipping in. So when that lipped in, going on the low side, that gave me some momentum right into the back nine. I was able to make another one on 10, and then I was in control of the golf tournament. But I thought that was really, really, really big today. The margin of win is 5 at the end of 72 holes, but it was not. It didn't feel like that. It finally felt like that on the 18th green, but it was a lot closer than that before the 18th hole.
Dave, on the right.
I wonder if you could just characterize just how complete this win feels, just how every facet of the game seemed to really be working pretty well.
Yeah, no question. It's very satisfying. I'm sitting here it just feels very satisfying to capitalize on the 2 ball striking weeks that I've had over these last couple of weeks. But I feel like I've been hitting it really nicely for a while, and I just haven't quite put myself right there. I did in Canada and had a good chance to win there. I did in Mexico at the new tournament in Vedanta, and then I've done it these couple weeks. And these 2 weeks, I've been able to make the putts when they count. And but it is very, very satisfying to win golf tournaments. But to do something like I've done and win back-to-back, that's I think that's pretty special. And to be able to do that is really cool.
Brendan on the left aisle.
Hey, Tony. I don't think this course really sets up that well for a fader of the ball, and maybe a few years ago, I don't know how this would have, fit your game. Can you speak to the evolution that you've had and the changes to maybe give yourself more opportunities to win on different course setups? Yeah,
that's great. I think you used the word perfectly, evolution. My game has evolved dramatically from the start of my career till now. This is a golf course that didn't look very good to me the first time I played it, which was in 2020. And now a couple years later, and that's the thing, that's the beauty about playing on the PGA Tour. You play a lot of the same courses every year. You get to match up and see where you are as a person and where your game is compared to where it was last year. How does this golf course look to me this year? All those different things. The golf course looked pretty good to me this year. And so to me, that just told me I'm a lot better, than I was just a couple years ago. But that's what it is. I think we evolve as players and as people, and proud that my game has evolved the way it has. And it's pretty cool to know that, you put your best foot forward and play some good golf, you can put yourself in a position to win a golf tournament. And to do that 2 weeks in a row is really nice.
And you had that time where you went from shortening your swing to then chasing speed a little bit in 2020. And I guess now, where would you kind of put that at in terms of the comfort level with what you want to actually technically be doing with the swing and kind of owning it,
Yeah, I don't think chasing speed is probably the best word for me. For me, it's just try and hit it a little further than I am, because I have a lot of speed in the bank. But what I learned from that and my game evolving is just that I don't really need to change anything. I need to get a little sharper. My short game has to be better. I have to putt the ball better. Those are all things that I've known over these last couple of years, and I've worked extremely hard on. And so now that I'm enjoying the success that I am, it's all due in part to me just looking myself square in the eyes and knowing I'm not as good as I can be, and addressing those parts of my game that need to be elevated for me to be a great player.
Tony, you're headed to Utah shortly for tomorrow's Tony Finau Foundation Pro-Am on the Korn Ferry Tour. If you could just talk a little bit about the excitement for that event.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. We have our Tony Finau Foundation Pro-Am tomorrow. We run the tournament alongside the Korn Ferry Tour event, which is the Utah Championship, and it's quite special. We have the opportunity to change lives of the kids that I grew up in an area where they were less privileged, less fortunate. And so to be able to give back to that community, to my community, and the state of Utah means everything to me. But I have amazing support from my sponsors, from people in Utah, a lot of the Korn Ferry Tour players that are going to play in my event. I think Sung J M has played it. I think even Scotty Scheffler has played my event. So I handpicked these guys from the Korn Ferry Tour to to play in my event, which is really cool. It gives my sponsors and all the amateurs that play an opportunity to play with potential superstars on the PGA Tour. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we raise a lot of good money for our charity.
Got a question on the right here.
Hey, Chandler Engelbrecht with the Detroit Free Press. That's the second time you've won $1 million in the past week. What are you going to do with that money? You thought about that at all?
I haven't thought about it, but now that you bring it up, I mean, 5 kids will take care of that, no problem. 5 kids and my wife, I'm sure they know how to spend it.
Thanks.
Another question from Cameron.
Tony, I believe you've wrapped up a spot on the U.S. President's Cup team. Just wondering, those events are obviously pretty different and pretty fun. Wondering your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I make a goal every year. We're either playing a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. As an American player, that's something that's really exciting. And it's something that's a challenge. To make those teams is really hard. There's so many great players. I think one of the great players, Cameron Young, chasing me down today. I mean, you're going to see these guys win a lot. They're amazing golfers. So for me, I have that goal every year to try and make these teams on points. I've been selected in the past. One of my goals is to make the team this year, make the President's Cup team by points. These last 2 weeks, I think, were huge in earning my spot. I think everybody earns their spot to a certain extent, but I truly want to earn my spot by winning, by earning enough points to just qualify for the team this year. And I've got a couple more tournaments to kind of prove myself.
Another question from Brendan.
You're known for laid-back disposition and a good disposition. And how much of a challenge was that for those, in hindsight especially, those years where you were coming up short and, having to keep going home and wondering when it was going to go? Like, how did you not let that kind of change your personality or your general mindset?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, as I mentioned before, I'm very hopeful, filled with faith to just know that there's a better future if I just keep doing what I'm doing. I think they say the definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. But in my case, it was just taking what I knew I was playing well in those circumstances. It was just, what are you learning from this to help you grow? And like I said, I think, answering your other question was, I just had to look myself in the eyes and say, how do you feel down the stretch in this certain situation when you're hitting this shot and this shot, and really address the areas that really needed the attention and work on them. So then when I put myself in that position again, I can win. And I think that's what you're seeing these last couple of weeks for me, is that I've been able to put myself in similar situations in the past, but my game is sharper, I'm stronger, and I'm just a better player to be able to seal the deal and take control of golf tournaments. You have to earn all of them out here. That's definitely something that I've learned. Guys are rarely going to fold. But the more you put yourself there, crazy things happen. Last week, something crazy happened. I put myself right there. Scott Piercy was leading the golf tournament for pretty much the whole tournament. Next thing you know, I look up and I've got a 4-shot lead with 2 holes to play. Things like that happen out here. But you have to earn every win you have, and that's definitely something that I've learned being in those situations.
We'll take a question from Tony on the left aisle. Over
Hey, Tony. Tony Paul, Detroit News. Congratulations. I'm just curious, was there a time when you did win back-to-back weeks, junior golf or college golf? Or?
Yeah, there was. I played Utah Junior Golf Association back in Utah. I won quite a few tournaments in a row. Mini tour golf, I won some back-to-back events. But to do it out here on the PGA Tour, that's a whole different animal. It's quite special. I don't know what type of group that entails. I know it's been done a couple times this year, but to add my name to that list, pretty cool.
And given your journey to get to this point, can you imagine any win being more satisfying than winning on this tour?
Any win being more satisfying? Wins are they're so special out here because they're so rare. I think I'm going to really be able to soak these up probably when I'm home. It probably hasn't hit me yet, really, the magnitude of what I've accomplished these last couple of weeks. But winning is just special. On the PGA Tour, winning on the PGA Tour is where the best players in the world are. It doesn't matter what tournament. You have to play well. You have to earn the victory. to have earned these last two is very satisfying.
That's it from the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit, Michigan. We had the winner, and with that, we'll be back with our next podcast that'll be coming up later this week. Make sure you tell someone, download it on iTunes, Pandora, and a whole lot more.